What was that last? What'd you say? Ink on.
Huh?
So she must have a lot of ink in there.
I know. It's like she could give me black and whites. She was like, nah.
Front and back too, so it took a.
She was like,
It's
nah.
going in.
My daughter-in-law had color. Trying to marry off my son. She was not playing.
They have all the enmities. Yep. We are live. What was that last? What'd you say? Ink on. So she must have a lot of ink in there. Yeah, you gonna be sitting there. You sitting there? Front and back too, so it took a. Yeah. It's going in. Yes, indeed.
It's my show.
It is your show, isn't it? You titled this. This is your show. Whatever you like. Salute. Peace, prosperity, protection, and good health. Most definitely. Islam.
I had to. A little retro. It's the Meta Magician. Expect nothing. You know, when highs turn to lows and lows turn to highs. Black water. Black action once again. Giving black. As usual. Yeah. Giving black. A look of migration. Minus the stagnation. Elevation. The power of a melanation, eliminating imposters, block the radar, chart the stars, cosmic dust moves rust from eroding cars. I'm Logan sitting in Lotus at the dojo with Shogun, loading bars and hookahs. Some claim the baller or the shooter, top shotter, name caller. I'm the bell ringer, missing Dale singer, screech saved by the hell bringer. A loose pin in my head caused my dread to fall out. No fear of rules and regulations, laws that have flaws with claws to crawl out. The beast of the belly, flaming heat, torching streets, got me reaching for the Cali, about to go all out. Yeah, my highs turn to lows, my lows turn to highs, my lows. Yeah, scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. First World Order Radio, Tips and Tricks Tuesdays. Black Water, the Meta Magician. It's Tips and Tricks Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south, west. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. That pig, that's fine. Hijacking the mind. Aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants state of the unison, addressing nothing. Foundations can ruin, level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crypt, hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons, swords and daggers, lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tear into raw flesh, grandpa, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition, chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian, inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed, mold with the bush. Standing on the middle line, no defining. Swirling dervish, in between space and time. Tips and tricks Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south, west. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another tips and tricks Tuesday. Tips and tricks Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south, west. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another tips and tricks Tuesday.
Peace. Yep, it is not another tips and tricks Tuesday. That was I just pressed the button. I meant to let another rendition of a song play too, but that one was what jumped up there. But it's all good. Get thanks for tips and tricks Tuesday. Um, it's tips and tricks, so it's Sunday. Soul Food Sunday with Elohee. Right. Soul Food Sunday with Elohee. That's what it is. It's peace. Um, Today's topic is detoxing. We're gonna get into it in a few minutes. First, I want to give thanks to those who came before and those who will come after. Give thanks to the First World Order Radio family, Dr. Eileen, the God, Queen Kadira, the goddess out there. And I had that flyer up for one moment here. I'm gonna bring it back. The Kwanzaa event coming up.
Yeah, scientific breakthrough.
December 28th to January 1st. It will be located at the at their restaurant up there. So, you know what I'm saying? Juice and more. Y'all go up there in Henderson, North Carolina, 133 South Garden Street. Nice restaurant. A lot of space in there. Get things going. I'll be there as well to assist in some of the activities. Probably meditation, something like that. Maybe some Qigong's. You know, just bring in a new year on a high note, like to talk about some high vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Some good energy in there. Dr. Alim and Sister Kadira and the family. So, you know, come one, come all, 9 to 99. You already know. Be peace. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fun. Learn some things, do some things together for the 2020. You know what I'm saying? Clear vision. I'm gonna probably put something together for New Year's. Of course, Clear Vision 2020. You know what I'm saying? Or No Year. You say New Year, but it's really, you know, it ain't 2020. But Clear Vision, though. Being able to have what we call clairvoyance and being able to see through things with that hawk eye, with that Hebrew, with that, you know, that falcon eye, from a point of view that's not just secular, but not just spiritual. So we have all these different angles of life, and it is all life. You know what I'm saying? So everything adds up at the end of the day. All right, so we are going to talk about detox. Detox. First, before we get into the other aspects of it, just the etymology of detox. This is a etymology book. Dictionary of etymology. D means away from or down. So, toxic means poison, basically. Toxicum, poison, is from Latin. It's also from Greek, poison, toxicon, pharmacon. It's also where we get the word pharmaceutical from, pharmacon. So that's poison. You know what I'm saying? Basically, when we go into the pharmacy getting things to so-called remedy illness. All right. It's from the use of arrows from toxicon, toxicos pertaining to arrows of archery. All right. So it's basically what's put on the tips of arrows for the bows and arrows and everything, but the toxicon or toxin TOXON means bow. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weapon. But when you put detox, basically it's saying away from the weapon or away from the poison. So no weapon formed against you or us. You know what I'm saying? So getting the weapons that have been trying to be formed against us, those four elements: fire, air, water, and earth. Fire, well, earth, the toxicity in the food or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the earth. Water, the toxicity in the water. Air, the toxicity in the air, whatever we're breathing in. You know what I'm saying? Also toxic thoughts, but fire, the toxicity that goes into the blood, and then it engulfs the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So that the whole aspect or the whole um, thing with the what we call the pentagram, or you know what I'm saying, the Star of David, or the what is that word? The Dravidian man. I can't recall, but it's like the dude, you know, that has the 5 pointed star. I think Leonardo da Vinci drew the picture first. But at any rate, so you got those four different angles with spirit ascending, but those four different angles are being poisoned or whatnot. So to take the poison out, we're gonna go through a couple of different. I'm gonna just read through some things that I have notes on. We talked about it before, but I figured it was a grand time to bring this up since we're dealing with the sugar season, the sugar part of the year, because we got we went through Halloween, and then we go to Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, and it just continues all the way up until July, and where we had July 4th, but all these holidays in between those phases or whatnot, we deal with a lot of foods that have toxins in them, and we deal with a lot of stress too that relates to toxins or builds tension that will bring in poison into the brain. So we go out and we splurge and binge on different things that may not be so healthy for the mind, body, and spirit. You know what I'm saying? Due to these rituals that we participate with year to year, day to day. All right, and it forms to a habit. You know what I'm saying? Habit. So ha and bit or bat or Beth, like Bethlehem. Beth is Hebrew for house, and ha is life. So habits can be good or bad, but it's the house of life that we live in. So habit or habet, when we dealing with these rituals that they got going on and all these rites and stuff like that, and we're not really participating with the energy that it was born from, like Thanksgiving and harvesting and bringing in, that cornucopia, whatever you want to call it, but that horn of plenty, the horn of plenty didn't have no fried chicken in it. It didn't have cranberry sauce and all those different items in there. It was the horn of plenty. It was pumpkins and squash and radishes and things like that in the horn of plenty. But we would harvest our vegetables and fruits and whatnot that was available in that season and bring it together after the fruition and have it for winter. We store up some for winter, but we have a big gathering called it Thanksgiving. But we were giving thanks, and this is indigenous before the so-called Thanksgiving of America. This is what we did. We did this in other states of in our culture, if you will, on different continents all across the world. This was just something that was brought to the table in America with the Puritans and Pilgrims and Indians and all that make-believe story. But since we are dealing with Thanksgiving and going into Christmas and New Year's, be wise to go ahead and get you a good detox regimen in. Day-to-day regimen as well as like a purge for like a week or two. Dealing with. I fasted on Thanksgiving, so like I'm in there with family, like 30, 40 people in and out the house through the day, and they wondering when I'm gonna eat. So I'm drinking something. Get thanks to the Queen. She made some green tea detox with a little shot of peppermint. It was harsh too. It was hot. I smelled that like, oh, I couldn't even drink it. I was like, oh, peppermint. Oh, who told you to put peppermint? No, good things though. The Queen, she blends it together, a little stevia in there. So it's all good, all real. Um, I know you guys remember this book right here, Comedic Diet. I'm just gonna read one passage out of this today. The same thing I've been reading for the past few weeks, but you know what I'm saying, just to rekindle that and you know what I'm saying, as far as referencing on what soul food is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? So, because this is Soul Food Sunday. All right, so one should not think in terms of dieting, but of embarking on a lifestyle of coming into harmony with the laws of nature, the divine, as they relate to the physical body. This is the practice of truth in life as it relates to the physical body. For some, this is a difficult step, as it requires that they abandon the eating habits of their culture in which they grew up or with which they now identify themselves. Thus, there is an emotional cultural aspect that also has to be dealt with. For example, the types of food commonly known within the African American community as soul food, bring this up right here, is integral to their modern history and culture. However, this diet is probably one of the worst diets with respect to nurturing one's body, mind, and soul. It is anything but soul food. Some call it slave food, as much of its development occurred during the time of American slavery. It is deadly to the physical body and therefore does not nurture one's spiritual evolution. Since one is now free to eat as one pleases, there is really no excuse to continue to eat in this manner. Discovering and implementing the teachings that our ancestors have left humanity related to diet and health is their legacy, which is yet to be claimed by this generation. As integral as soul food is to the African American community, the meat and potato diet is to the European American community. Again, tradition based in large part on the history of the Wild West and cattle farming is resulting in devastating numbers of people dying and suffering from ill health. Real beef, as it is properly come to be known, is not the proper fuel for the human body. It is the proper food for carnivores such as dogs, cats, lions, tigers, and etc. But humans are not carnivores. All you have to do is look at our molars, at the molars in carnivores, which end in sharp points or a knife-like blade, while the teeth of humans are for nipping and grinding. That means eating softer foods, not really cutting into them like cutting into a steak with a knife. If we could really eat a steak like that to talk about, we wouldn't need a knife. And if we could eat other hard foods like that, like chicken and other meats, then we would just rip right into it. As a matter of fact, we go into the wild and put our teeth into the neck of blood like a vampire. You know what I'm saying? We just go out there on the hunt and kill it if it was really meant for us naturally. You know what I'm saying? We'll look for it and we'll be hunting it like that. You know what I'm saying? This hunting stuff developed out of need or necessity to be cool because of the fur that was on the animal. And sometimes sacrificial reasons, but it wasn't a year round thing. You know what I'm saying? We would do weddings or birthdays and holidays like Thanksgiving or solar holidays like what we call Christmas now. And maybe we would, eat a little meat on those occasions or sacrifice some type of animal for that type of blood ritual or whatever we would call it. But as far as um, really participating with it year round, we didn't go that into that round like that. So how many of us looked at a plate like that a couple days ago? You know, Thanksgiving, get thanks. You know what I'm saying? Knowing is half the battle, and it took a little bit for me to actually. I ate a spoonful of something. What was it? I say it was something my mama made. She didn't put the turkey in there, so the collards, it was collards or something like that, right? So I ate a spoonful of collards that day. I see them greens right there. And then I had a big old plate of the next day. I tore it down. My evacuation was crazy too. But I ain't getting all that. It's a little personal. But it was good things. It was good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I give thanks to my mom for actually looking out and considering the fact that you know I don't consume those type of food items. And well, she know me. You know what I'm saying? So she know me. So you see, you got your corn on there. Got your collard greens, probably cured with some bacon or something. Or it might be, yeah, that's greens right there. You got your beans right there. I mean, I don't know what it's cooked with, but but then you got macaroni and cheese, and there's that dairy and carbohydrate mix. So that's protein and a carbohydrate or grain. Then you got your bread on your fried chicken, so that's another protein with a grain or carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate, which really doesn't mix well within digestion. We talked about that before. Correct food combining. So when we're putting all those food items together improperly, it turns into putrid waste over time. So we definitely don't want to put that. And that's not real food. That's that artificial type of food items that is not collectively produced by nature in one facet. This is all processed together and put together to appease the senses, the taste and the smell. You know what I'm saying? And, naturally we go out there, we get them greens and eat them like it was out the out of we might stew them up or something and not really add too much to it. But as it is, we got to season everything and all that, trying to get some flavor into the food. So we're still looking for a natural, and the seasons, of course, are like herbs. So we're looking for a natural way to blend in something that really satisfies our genetics, if you will, but satisfies the cell to be able to get something out of it. But all those blockages won't allow the proteins or the signal to the protein to actually um, elevate the growth within the cell. So because the signal is blocked due to toxic food. Remember, there's three ways to block the signal for reaching the protein, and that's what traumatic event, toxic food, or drugs, and also the mind. The mind is the first thing, because we get into like this ritual thing and year round activities, day to day. I'm fasting today, so it's like I told my queen this morning, I was like, "Dad, it's gonna be hard going up the road." I was like, I gotta stay clear. I gotta stay clear of all these signs and stores and stuff, because we see a sign automatically. I might not go to McDonald's, but I want some potato chips or something, what I'm saying? Because I want some salty. I might not go to Mayflower, but all of a sudden, I want to eat an avocado. So I just get hungry because we get hungry because of these signs and these symbols. You know what I'm saying? That pretty much gives our archetypal information. It generates something inside of us that we want or desire, but it's not necessarily the truth of the matter. It's the hologram, exactly. It's the hologram, So them holograms, they lighten up certain aspects of us. And remember what hologram means: hollow, hoodoo, good ram. So the silent light of the mind is where we start with detoxing by silencing the mind. There's truth in silence. The more we have this bombardment of thoughts or these that we had that the information coming in and out of our head trying to tell us something, the harder it is for us to function. So less is more. And that's where meditation comes in, or Haru, hologram, gur am, what I'm saying? The silent light of the mind. So we don't want that. What we want is, of course, we want some real food. We need real food. And the realest food for the soul is SOL, sunlight. You know what I'm saying? If we want, well, light in general, but soul in Latin is, or Spanish is soul, is sun or light. So the soul needs to be fed sunlight one way or another with elementals from breathing, deep breathing within the realms of gaining life. You know what I'm saying? Because there's life in light. You know what I mean? So um, a light diet, light thoughts equals a light lifestyle for those light beings. So in that search for real food, the realest food that we can acquire is located within love. Because love is what? Love is light and love is life. So reading this poem right here, it says, love is the greatest power, and it is, if natural, the highest invisible food from the infinite for soul and body. So that silent light of the mind, hologram or hologram, if you will. But that any hologram needs what? Needs light to, thrive or exist or to be or whatever you want to call it. So all these objects that we have around us, these holograms, it has to have light for it to be able to be inside of this third dimensional reality. So love is light. So if it's here, then it's been loved in one way or another, depending on how you're looking at love. You know what I'm saying? Some people look at love like it's supposed to be given to them from someone else. But love yourself, and you learn to agree or love others as well. You know what I'm saying? Because love starts in your heart, in you, in that individuated through itself. So when we love ourselves, it's easier for us to expand outwardly to express that love. So love is light, and light is love is life. So that life that we getting or that we are that's arrived into us from the elementals is from the soul or from the sun for soul food, sun food, for the children of the sun. If I'm a child of the sun, then I need to be suckling on mama's bosom, on that soul light and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So adequately, as far as melanated people are concerned, we need about 2 hours a day of sunlight, whereas less melanated people need about 30 minutes of sunlight, or either get that vitamin D3 in there, something like that. Or I think it's called calcifatry or something. But it's vitamin D3 is not really a vitamin; it's actually a mineral. So we call it vitamin D3, but um, in its raw form, it's like calcium basically. It forms into calcium and helps us with bone structure, teeth, hair, energy, all type of things. But it's wise to get that and purging as well. All right. And this is what Dr. Sebi said about real food right here. And we know Dr. Sebi wasn't nothing but the truth. Ain't nothing but the truth, actually. I don't like to say things in past tense. Give thanks for that brother's energy as well and for what he brought to the table and still brings to the table. One of my role models as far as looking at and looking up to someone that that advanced us as a people into being more aware about what's going on with ourselves. So real soul food is food that enhances the soul, our central sun, our melanin, our carbon, and that would be fruits, vegetables, grains. This is the real soul food. So that's going to enhance the sun because it's from the sun. See, the difference with us and animals is it's just sort of like a step down ladder. So you got water, where you had sunlight. Then you had the water coming down hitting the sun. I mean, sunlight coming down hitting the water. Then from that sunlight hitting the water and the dirt, you have vegetation. Then from the vegetation, you have an animal come and eat this vegetation. And then right behind the animal, this human comes and eats the animal. Whereas if we really want to, bypass all this extra, these steps, we should go straight to the sun. But if we're going to get some sun energy or feed our melanin or our central sun, our solar plexus, solar plexus means central sun. So if we're going to feed this properly, we may just want to bypass the animal altogether, go to the vegetables and the water, or bypass all three of those aspects, the animal, the vegetables, and the water, and get some meditation in, or just feed off of that, the energy of photonic light, or the photons and the solaric light that comes in by way of deep breathing. All right, so as Dr. Sebi said right there, real soul food is food that enhances the soul, our central sun. Amen to that. I believe it. you know. So what it takes to really it takes us to pay attention to what we want. What do we really want? An apple or a burger? And it also takes experience because, back in the day, it was about 10, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I was eating them junior bacon burgers. No, not junior bacon, but junior burgers, and there was something called a rodeo burger at Burger King, Big Macs, and French fries. I would actually put a French fry in my strawberry milkshake straw, and I would drink the, the milkshake with the French fry in the straw. It was so good. And I would eat the French fry, and then put another one in there. I put like 6 French fries in my sandwich, eat it like that, and I'd get like shoot 3, 4 rodeo burgers. Like I said, before I get out the parking lot, I ate 1.5 to 2 of them before I could get from the drive-through to the turn out the driveway of the fast food restaurant. And I was wondering why I was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering why, I'm overly aggressive and overly reactive. And I'm wondering why my body don't feel right. It ain't adjusting. I'm still young. Well, I'm young now. Get thanks. It's all a mind thing. Age ain't nothing but a number. It's just how you do and how you move. It starts, like I said, like diet, like thoughts equals a like lifestyle. So less is more. The more we put in toxic foods, the more we degenerate, basically, and it's harder for us to heal or to actually prevent bad health and everything. So preventative, it was one of my statements. Preventative is better than curative. So preventing things is always more profitable than actually have to like detox. But give thanks for detoxing and getting or um, getting away from the poisons, basically, getting that bow and arrow thing away from us, so to speak. All right, so we're going to talk about foods that cause excess mucus in the body and acid. And like I said, we've talked about this before previously, but like I was saying again, we're in the sugar season, so it's a lot of sugar we're putting into the body right now. And I like sugar too. I like sweet food. But my queen, she don't really drink tea sweet. I like my tea sweet. For some reason, she like hers bland. She like bland, like nature made it. That's what she said. Like nature made it. So, sometimes we had these binges, or we had these what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, when we it slipped my mind when we want certain things, but we cravings. There we go. Women really have a lot of cravings due to month, and everything. Oh, but but men have cravings too. Sometimes not so healthy. Most of the time not so healthy. Like waking up at 2 o'clock wanting to eat a banana. Yeah, I do that. At least it's a banana, but it's sweet. And we don't really need sweets like that all throughout the day anyway. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm checking out peace, family, peace, everyone. Peace. Deku. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Tespe, Schuler, Just, Jacob, Celestial, Universal, Being, Peace, Blessed, um, Elamuru, Peace, Peace, Beauty and All, Peace, Nick. Here we are being used. No doubt. I can dig that. All right. Hmm. No, I'm not familiar with that. That's what it is, so it's all good. Not to get caught up in the conflicts and drama. Peace, everyone. Self-elevation, peace, God. Yes, indeed. And we're about to get in right into that toxic foods: meat, dairy, sugar, gluten, wheat, corn, tomatoes. Yeah, it's a lot of things out there, and also depending on blood type. P spacey, max space, no doubt. That's truth in that. All right, so we'll get back to the read a little bit. Some of these notes. Um, so like I said, mindfulness, being mindful, and it requires a little effort to be mindful of what we're about to participate with as far as consuming or partaking into the system, you know what I'm saying, to our physical system as far as what we're putting in. And it's from a spiritual perspective because everything like, we're talking about is coming from the intelligence or solar photonic energy of unseen reality. So those unseen, that love, that unseen food generates into this hologram of what we got in front of us. So if it's tainted or toxic, we need to find a way to eliminate those things out of our body for one, and when we do put it in there, but also eliminate it out of our mind so we don't have to really participate with it any longer. And that brings about good health, longevity, and good humor. You know what I mean? So I'm reading this right here, some notes. I've read it a few times, but these are we're going to be speaking on again food items for foods that cause mucus in the body as well as toxicity or acid. So if you are one of the 220 million Americans who fails to get the recommended servings of fruits and vegetables each day, you may be leaving out your body in a hazardously deficient, inflamed, and acidic state. Most foods in the American diet are highly acidic, and without defending all that acid with alkalizing fruits and vegetables, you are sure to experience some rather uncomfortable consequences. Just think, are you experiencing any of these signs that your body is possibly lacking in many critical nutrients while being in a state of toxic acid overload? Fatigue, feeling sluggish, tired, and heavy, increased cravings, especially for sweets, excess body fat, and trouble losing the weight, skin issues like something coming out on your skin, bumps, tumors, or cysts, something like that, not necessarily tumors. Brain fog, it's hard to think straight, weak and frail bones, a lot of poppings and things like that. Bones might break easily. Joint discomfort when like moving and sitting or standing. Sensitive teeth, teeth bleed. They're sensitive to heat and cold. Trouble sleeping at night, and also digestive distress, not being able to evacuate properly. It might be constipation. It may be diarrhea. And these are just naming a few of the symptoms that may be acquired due to not alkalizing more than putting acidic type of foods in the body. So if this is what's going on, this excess acid may cause the body to degenerate a lot faster. And again, if you put acid on a wood table, what's it going to do to that wood table, or even a metal table, glass table? It's going to burn a hole through it. So imagine what's going on inside of our body every time we throw acidic type of foods into the body. So the digestive system and immune system, joints, muscles, skin, everything begins to show its healing aspect by giving us these symptoms, trying to get that acid out the body. So these concerns of excess internal acid are no laughing matter. And even worse, they only continue to be aggravated and get worse if left unaddressed. But what specifically causes excess acid and what can we do about it? For starters, as mentioned, the typical American diet is extremely acidic in nature. Just look at all these common acid producing foods, meats, like the brother was saying, cheese and other dairy products, sugar, and again, 150 pounds per person yearly. That's on the average. Every American takes in about 150 pounds of sugar, and that's a lot of pounds of sugar. That's a person, and basically, you know what I'm saying. We put that much sugar in our body a year, 150 pounds. It's like an 18-year-old. It's crazy. Alcohol, many types of nuts and seeds, soft drinks, for that, high fructose corn syrup, coffee, and other caffeinated beverages. A little coffee here and there, but every day is very acidic to the body. Most sweeteners, and that's both natural and artificial. So that means, if I did stevia every day, well, that's a sweetener with nothing in it, 0% everything. But like maple syrup or molasses, honey, those type of, even though they're natural, they still are acid forming as far as on the end of alkalizing and acidic type of items that goes into our body. The body is 80% water, so there's 80% alkalinity and 20% other. So we need to be conforming to a reality that's based on that 80%, as well as the cell. The cell is 80% alkaline and 20% other. So, again, the 80-20 diet, 80% fruits and vegetables raw. If possible, 60 to 40 is good, or either half and half, because really, most of us aren't getting even that much, 50% of raw throughout the day. But there are also other causes of a lot of acid or excess acid buildup in the body, such as stress, inactive lifestyle, and not drinking enough water, which basically hardly any of us really do, because the minimum amount is 8 glasses a day. That's the minimum recommended amount, 8 glasses a day. But we really should be drinking more than that throughout the day. And like I said, I'm fasting today, so I drank one of those humongo, what was it? I guess like 32 ounces or something of Fiji water, and I actually drank some coffee this morning. It was my own made coffee, homemade. It was almond milk with a little, like half a thing of this 100% something. I think it was 80 milligrams of coffee in it. And then I drank a little blend of some vegetables and fruits that I had made. So that was what I started out with. Oh, and I did eat a banana this morning. Yeah, I ate a banana this morning, and that's all I consumed throughout the day as far as my fast. Some fasts you can have a drinking fast, or you can choose to eat one item throughout the day if you're fasting, or just go, water fast, or don't put nothing in the body at all for like 1 to 2 days. I choose to eat a banana. I chose to eat a banana. I probably got another one right here. I'll probably eat in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But there again, stress is one of the most um, potent ways to produce acid in the body, because as soon as we get stressed out, the body reacts and tries to um, go into that fight or flight mode or whatnot, and we producing cortisol, which is not necessarily necessary at that moment. So it goes into the toxic mode. And one of the things it does, it cuts little or tears little holes or lines within the pericardium or the covering of the heart. So when the heart gets stressed from whatever's going on in our physical environment due to its severe nature, then we develop those hormones and those chemicals in the body, and if it ain't needed to access like a physical activity in that fight or flight mode, then it just stores in the body, and it starts becoming toxic energy. So if we suffer from a chronic cough that won't go away, or wake up with puffy and crusty eyes in the morning, or have bad breath throughout the day, then that may be due to excess mucus production, which is, caused by food items as well. It may be a surprise to some people that that's what's going on, but excess mucus is a sign that the body is in a state of agitation, and it comes from toxins or acidic type of foods. Some we might think of it just as being like excess mucus coming from allergies, pollutants, but food additives, processed foods, all those different type of things also affect us, and it affects it involves the interplay of the lymphatic system, the gastrointestinal tract, and the respiratory system. So as we go through those different phases of healing, the lymphatic system is pumping out these T cells, and you might get a little lump or something in our throat or under our armpit or in our lower regions, right there at the um, at the pelvis region. And but that's the lymphs getting hardened and getting blocked from those things, but it's trying to purge out the energy as well through the gastrointestinal tract. Or you might get gas, you might have some type of other ailments going on inside the gastrointestinal tract, like blockages occurring due to excess mucus in the body, as well as respiratory system trying to purge it out by having upper respiratory infections, or like flu seasons. And even in the middle of June, people walk around with the flu, due to excess mucus in the body and because of over acid or acidosis. I mean, mucus does play an important role in the body. I mean, and you see that right there. That was all acid forming foods, as far as got cheese, nachos, and what else in there? Combos down there, some Cheetos, fiery Cheetos, whatever them called. You got cheese on top of nachos. You need ramen noodles. All this is acid forming food items. That don't hamburger with that sesame seed bun and pickles. So that people take out the vegetable, they take the lettuce and the pickles out and just eat the sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. I'd eat a sandwich with just the pickles and the lettuce, a slice of almond cheese. That still ain't the healthiest way to do it, but we like I said, we form certain energies as far as memory is concerned. So sometimes just to get that taste again, I will eat a sandwich, like a portobello sandwich. You know what I mean? And it's pretty decent. It don't make me do that right there. So that's a plus. Even if it's a mind thing, got to get it out one way or another. So when that's going on, when we regurgitate this shit up for ourselves, then that means something ain't right with that food item. So let's stand clear of that as much as possible, because otherwise, this is what's going on in our intestinal tract right here. That's actually mucus. So like I said, mucus does play an important role because it's basically produced in different mucus cells, and is also within the epithelial lining of organs like the intestinal and respiratory tracts that we were just speaking on. They are found inside the bronchia, the trachea, and large bronchioles in the respiratory tract, as well as the small intestines, the large intestines, and the conjunctiva and the upper eyelid. You see how that look, early morning. You know what I'm saying? Mucus is produced to protect the mucous membranes where they are found. The problem occurs when there is excess mucus production, which can be stimulated by irritants like dust, smoke, other pollution, chemicals, bacteria, and viruses, food additives, and food allergens. Excess mucus is produced to capture these particles and shuttle them out of the body, meaning more coughing, stuffy noses, and a harder time breathing, and much more. So, looking at these symptoms right here, so if you suffer from a chronic cough that won't go away, if you're currently experiencing mucus from a cold or flu, if you wake up with the puffy, crusty eyes in the morning, bad breath throughout the day, even after we brush our teeth, if you have a constant stuffy nose, if the senses are dulled and we require, a lot of salt to make food taste good, and if our senses are not sharp, meaning we got that brain fog and can't think clearly, then that's symptoms of basically too much mucus or mucus and acid forming foods being introduced to the body, forming mucus in the body, because now the body's trying to dump that stuff out of there by way of the lungs, the eyes, or the conjunctiva, to the small intestines, the large intestines. You know what I'm saying? So the body's forming this mucus and it's trying to purge it out. You know what I'm saying? So these symptoms are often a result of a slow digestive tract, respiratory system, and lymphatic system, which can be caused by excess mucus production. The digestive tract contains millions of tiny microvilli. Those are microvilli right there. Um, and these microvilli absorb nutrients from the food. So, in fact, over 80% of all absorption takes place in the small intestines. When we have excess mucus buildup in the intestines, it causes a glue-like buildup that sticks in the folds of the intestinal walls. This accumulation deforms the intestines and results in over 9 to 10 pound blockages in the average man or woman. Y'all recall John Wayne, that old Western dude, when he passed, after he passed, they found 40 pounds, I believe, of steak still in his stomach, undigested, because he would always get like a 12 ounce or something like that steak whenever he went out to them restaurants and places like that, probably cooking at home too. But that was one of his favorite meals, was that steak. And when he passed away from whatever was going on with him, they said they found, I think it was like 40, 60 pounds of that in his small intestines, still just caked up in there. So the obstruction results in absorption issues, digestive problems, and an overall sick and poor functioning body. So you want to be able to keep that microvilli flowing properly, then we need to take out those food items, or not just food items, mental energy that might be lower vibrations that's causing stress and tension, and basically to reduce the excess mucus production. You know what I'm saying? Although excess mucus production can come from allergies like pollen and smoke and dust and things like that, pet dander, um, pollution, chemicals in the air, bacteria. A major cause of mucus production is from our daily diet and our lifestyle. So certain beverages and foods that can trigger excess mucus production are the two main foods that cause excess mucus production, of course, dairy and wheat, but also sugar. All right, so casein and dairy products like milk, yogurt, cheese, and etc., and then gluten and wheat require strong stomach acids for digestion. Once digestion is complete, food particles are left over that are too big to be used by the body. So these it's called chyme, or CHIME. But these partially digested food particles putrefy and become coated with a thick mucus to prevent further putrefaction in the intestines. So the more we eat in this acid forming mucus, this acid type of diet in this mucus forming, um, and the potential of mucus forming in the body, the more the food putrefies. And if it's lodged in there, for years, that's the cause of that bad breath and stinky underarms and things like that, the funky toe. You know what I'm saying? Syndrome. The funky toe syndrome. All right, but good things though. It's like this detoxing and everything. What we're gonna be talking about, it helps eliminate some of those problems and get that mucus out of there. I'm seeing that a large percentage of the North American diet, or the SAD, the Standard American Diet, is made up of dairy and wheat and sugar. Many people are walking around with bodies that are always in a chronic state of fighting off a sort of viral invasion. The body actually gets confused by the foreign products entering the mouth, like dairy, wheat, and sugar. And that's the artificial sugar that I'm really talking about. And thus, what happens is um, the body naturally defends itself by fighting these food particles um, out by forming mucus. And this excess mucus causes inflammation and other ailments as well, due to the body starting to shut down certain organs or whatever. Overproduction of mucus and acidosis is going to actually cut into the homeostasis and balance. So the body's going to be taxing or pulling energies from other organs. So one organ is going to be doing more work than it should, like the heart. That's why we have all these heart problems, high blood pressure, and all these other things, because the other organs is not working properly. So now the heart is going into overactive mode, trying to, you know, still put blood in the body to survive. So again, this is a more specific list of food items that produce mucus in the body. Again, dairy products, yogurt, milk, sour cream, cottage cheese, ice cream, butter, ghee. These are all dairy products. If you're going to do something that's like, grease or oil, butter, ghee, natural ghee is okay on a minimum. All corn products, though, causes mucus in the body. Eggs, sugary treats like cookies, cakes, pies, and pastries, wheat. That includes bread, pretzels, buns, um, bagels, things of that nature. You see all that right there in that picture as well. Soy products, and they add soy to a lot of different food items. Safflower, sunflower oil. If you're looking at a bag of even the so-called non-GMO potato chips, the second ingredient after well, I don't get potatoes. I usually like get something like sweet potatoes or lentils or some type of. But the second ingredient is normally sunflower oil. So I do that minimally. When I get a bag, I I throw half of it out the window and get thanks. I give it to the birds on the highway, or I might take a week to eat one bag of potato chips. I call them potato chips, but one bag of chips that might be in the cabinet. But if I get some on the highway, I'll be throwing them out the window and just like, here you go, birds. Y'all know what to do with this, But get thanks, Also, deep fried foods, fried chicken, fried pork chops at Thanksgiving meal type thing. Jams and jellies, high, oh Lord, my bad. Yeah, high fat red meats like the beef and steak that John Wayne was consuming, alcohol and caffeine. So eliminate foods that cause mucus is one of the major keys to helping the body function at an optimal pace. Raw fruits and vegetables are, if not the best way, is one of the key ways to begin a detox. All right, so raw fruits and vegetables are like the best mucus cleansers out there. If you are switching to a plant-based lifestyle, then the mucus issues will subside and health may improve like almost like tenfold within 1 to 3 months. It's depending on the person and how far they go. Don't rush into it though, because your body will go to certain different type of reactions called healing pains. It's natural, but stick with it, be assertive, and continue on that journey if you are wanting to see a different phase of your life, basically. You know what I mean? So these are certain food items that can relieve excess mucus. Radishes, you know what I'm saying? They're one of the best mucus cleansers out there. All leafy greens and herbs, cauliflower and broccoli, garlic, celery. Asparagus celery doesn't really have a lot of as far as minerals and nutrients is concerned, but it is a good way to purge out mucus because it's very watery. Asparagus, bamboo shoots, onions, ginger, and turmeric. Citrus fruits, of course, lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges, kumquats, pineapples, also berries, Brussels sprouts, and hot peppers. Those are good ways to purge out mucus from the body. That's my year-round diet right there. Basically, is what I eat all year round throughout the months. As far as the cooked food and raw, what I'm saying? Salads have berries in it. I try to just stick to those main berries like blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, and a few grapes. Grapes are higher in sugar, so I don't eat as many grapes as I do the other berries. Um, you know what I mean? But all the other things, garlic, celery, asparagus, might not be every day, but I'm gonna put some of that stuff in my body throughout the week. Definitely the salad. So detoxing. Why do we detox? What do we need to detox for? Because of the sugar months. Yeah. We go, but detoxing happens when the amount of inflammatory foods and the drinks put into our mouth reduces, and the liver has a chance to work through the built up toxins. So detox is necessary when the metabolic waste from normal human metabolism, environmental pollution, and what has become known as the standard American diet has exceeded the threshold for what the body's natural cleansing system can allow. While this may sound like a simple physiological process, detoxing affects both the body and the mind. So mindfulness again. What do we want with our life? You know what I'm saying? Love is life and life is light. All these work together in synchronicity. Nothing can be separated. If you want a good life, you gotta put that light in there because light is good. Light is love. Light is life, you know? So detox affects both the body, mind, and the spirit. So physiologically speaking, it takes the average person 1 to 2 weeks to process alcohol, sugar, wheat, and dairy products and have them like completely removed from the system. That's only if you're detoxing properly and not adding the sugar, wheat, alcohol, dairy products throughout that process. Like I said earlier, it'd be wise to attempt to eliminate those products from your day to day, especially after detox. If you want to detox to go right back and do the same thing over. You know what I'm saying? Build that energy back up. And it's like smoking crack, or whatever. If a person eliminates the, going through like substance abuses or any, it don't just have to be crack, but drugs or alcohol. Once that person gets off of it, they off of it. But if they go back into that realm again and walk down that, go back into that room, guess what? It's harder the next time to get off of it because the body is built up a certain threshold. And now we even going harder, you know what I'm saying, as far as putting those items back in the body. So if you're getting it out, get it out, keep it out. You know, I mean, learn to be diverse and have and find alternatives to putting those lower energies in. Try to find an alternative on a higher realm, so to speak, like I was talking about with sweet potato fries or something. You know what I'm saying? Get your sweet potato or what we used to call yams, but sweet potatoes are indigenous to this area. Yams are indigenous to like Africa and those realms, those different um, parts of the world. We have what we call sweet potato here. So this sweet potato, get that, cut it up into like French fries, and then eat those in place of the French. That's in place of the potato. It's healthier. Put some season it with a little sea salt, or or the um. Sometimes I put cinnamon on it and dip it in a little honey or something and make it a little sweeter. But it's appeasing to the taste buds and it's healthy as well. Healthier than eating some McDonald's fries and having me linked over somewhere wondering what's going on in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I got this stomach virus and it all adds up. So again, removing those food and beverages from the diet for 2 weeks is a good way to cleanse our system out. So that's sugar, wheat, dairy products, alcohol, any type of thing that's toxic to the body. Getting it out will take about 2 weeks to really purge it out like that. And detoxing is not just about the physiological process, but also the ego or the mind. It will show itself in full force, creating those thoughts based on fear, disappointment, and doubt. So it will lie, cheat, steal to convince you that these negative thoughts are real and it also will have full force during that detox. So, like I said, when I decided to fast today, I was like, damn, I don't even want to drive. You know what I'm saying? Or go out. I want to be in one place, sitting still because those negative thoughts start, oh, look, Starbucks. Hey, give me a green matcha tea. And, what is it? What they got what's the thing called? One of them pastries or what? Yeah, spinach wrap, spinach something with mozzarella cheese and something. You know what I'm saying? Which is not so healthy. It's probably processed and all of that. You know, but that like I said, the mind will lie, cheat, and do all type of things because of those memories, those muscle memories, or those triggers that bring about that the emotional or energy emotion that we sense to be good because the taste buds and the smell and the look of it and how it feels and all that through those five senses is lying to it. So be mindful of your thoughts. Know that the negative thoughts or those lower vibrationary thoughts will appear, and then just breathe through it. Recognize that they are not our thoughts. They come from hindsight. They really ain't what we thinking. Is just what's already there in front of us, basically. And we breathing them in. So breathe it back out and just be like, I'm stronger than that. I'm bigger than that. I am the sun. So the sun generates all this life and light on the planet. So notice what you need to take back in as far as being the sun. Don't necessarily got to be all that. The sun might blow up. What I mean? Inflame. And also remind yourself constantly that what you're doing is for a higher purpose and a higher reason. It's basically for knowledge itself and see what's going on with your experience. You know what I mean? So use about if you're going through for detox for like 2 weeks, meditate throughout that process for like 5 to 10 minutes a day, and that will put it, by putting attention to your breath, is to calm your mind and have it be more relaxed and also mindful as we go through that spiraling effects of the detox mind. Because that, we have all type of things coming at us again while we detox and trying to get us off that path. You know what I'm saying, and reaching that goal of actually allowing the liver to um, basically take a break and not have to have all those toxins in there in the blood, because the liver stores blood in there and puts the sugars in the body and all these other. It has 500 or more different type of functions, but when we give it a break, it can actually function properly and put those elements in the body properly, so that we can have a smooth transition going from one to point A to point B. All right. So also taking a journal and taking notes throughout those 2 weeks will help have something. Queen got something on her refrigerator like, what did I eat today? It's like a calendar type of chart, but it reminds you like, oh yeah, I'm detoxing. Let me remind myself, this is what I ate today. This is what I ate today. And as you're putting things on there, it actually, if you're doing it the right way and you're doing it in a positive manner, will actually build more strength, willpower, and courage throughout the remaining days. You know what I'm saying? Because you see you accomplished something that day. So then, by jotting things down, writing, especially on high vibration, or you just vent and get the negativity off, it's a good way of release. You know what I'm saying? And also building. You know what I mean? So build, um, or we would destroy the build, if you will. You know what I'm saying? What was empty can be filled, like we say. So some simple ways to detox the body, detox the mind as well. Green smoothie is one of the best ways. You know what I'm saying? So what is a green smoothie? It's basically, or just smoothies in general, but it's a natural way to cleanse the body. If we can replace a meal a day with a smoothie. Think usually every morning we drink a smoothie. Yeah. So after we drink a cup of tea or water, we'll drink a smoothie at about 10, 11 o'clock. Then we get it moving. Might put a little protein, something in there, vegan-based protein, and just get it jumping. But it's not good to jump on the trend of going to the grocery store and getting that whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, in that bottle, because it's a chemically enhanced smoothie. It got more um, processing going on in the pre-made drinks. So the best thing to do is to get our natural fruits and vegetables or whatever from the produce section, if you will, or if you're growing it yourself, and then just blend it up. And it helps with weight loss. It helps keeping the digestive system working properly. There's no added sugars and there's fiber in it and all that. So a smoothie, at least one smoothie a day and replace a meal like breakfast or something with a smoothie to get you going. It'll help jumpstart your metabolism as well and help with the digestive system to get out or purge or evacuate, eliminate what was going on the day before. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the digestive system. So the green smoothie, here again, this is the recipe for a green smoothie. One of them anyway. You can look them up. But 1 cup of kale or collard greens, firmly packed, stems removed, and then coarsely chopped. So about 4 ounces of kale or collard greens. 1 Granny Smith apple, coarsely chopped as well. The Granny Smith don't have is low in glycemic value, so it's low in sugar. 1 ripe banana, a half a cup of loosely packed fresh flat leaf parsley leaves. So that's a half a cup of parsley leaves. Combine all that with 2 to 1/4 cups of water, or you can use almond milk if you want. Almonds are a carbohydrate, or it's a nut. But 2 to 1/4 cups of water in a blender, blend to smooth. It's really to your liking. And you can also add stevia if you want, if it's not sweet enough for you. If it's too thick, put more water in it or more milk or whatnot, coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk, whatever you may be using. But that's your green smoothie right there. That one thing, that one smoothie a day or 2, 3 a day, you can replace all your meals. You don't necessarily got to chew. You know what I'm saying? The more liquid we put in, the easier it is for us to evacuate and keep that intestinal tract and the small intestines and the large intestines flowing properly. All right, so organic foods when possible. Rule of thumb is that if you can peel the outside of the fruit or vegetable, you should really opt for organic. So if it's like a strawberry, apple, tomato, something, that means it's going to be more um, pesticides, insecticides, and things like that that's located in the bite. So peel that, like the apple, unless you got organic going on, in order to not have those different chemical additives that they they place on there to for longevity and for growth. All right, so organic foods are always the best option. You know what I'm saying, as far as keeping that digestive system flowing properly and allowing the toxins not to be produced in the body. So choose the right organic foods, and that will also increase in detox in the body, and it helps us to keep or prevent illnesses later on. Um, a good intense massage. I just had my monthly massage the other day, and it's always good to get a massage is wonderful for detoxing. It purges out certain blockages that may occur, even if it's just from the mind, producing toxins in the body, but you're also breathing in certain energies throughout the month, as well as putting certain energies from toxicity that's inside of food items, like cooked food. So we tend to think of a massage as just a relaxing type of luxury, which it can be, but a real massage is based on your health and for your life. It serves to say, though, that if you are interested in getting rid of toxins in the body, you must definitely get a good, intense massage that focuses on the pressure points within the body. A typical Swedish massage is good, but something more intense and focused, like a sports massage, can work even better. That's what I get a sports massage. You see how her elbow right there? It hurt, but it hurt so good. It'd be like, ouch, oh, at the same time. And with me, I breathe through it like I'm meditating, so I'm deep breathing. And when the energy is moving, I breathe out. So I'm actually visualizing the toxins going out the body while they doing the massage. You know what I'm saying? And it's always wise to get the massage from a licensed professional that knows the pressure points and knows the areas to proceed with. and you want them to get deep into the muscle tissue to make this work for you. And when you push on these pressure points, or when a masseuse pushes on these pressure points or spots where toxins tend to build up, it gives them a chance to release. This helps you to naturally detox the body and get rid of the things that may have been making a person sick. So be sure that this comes from a registered massage therapist that knows what they're doing in terms of ridding the body of those toxins. And right afterwards, it's also wise to drink a lot of water. My masseuse, she always brings in like some water, like a 12-ounce thing of water to help flush out the toxins right after the meditate. I mean, not the meditation, but the massage. It's good to make it a regular habit. I go once a month to get a massage, usually at the beginning of the month. Yeah, and I've been doing this for about 4 years now. 4 or 5 years. I don't know when I started, but I know I've been doing it for a few years, and it helps. You know what I'm saying? When I get hurt, like stress a muscle or some part of my body, a bone or something, and I like, damn, I can't wait to this chiropractic visit or the masseuse or whatever, because all those things help with the body getting back in line and on point. You know what I mean? So make it a habit if you're going to do something like that, like massage, masseuse, go to a masseuse. And of course, this right here is very important due to the fact that the body is 80% water. We definitely need to drink water. If you think that you are drinking enough water throughout the day, we might need to still take it up a level. You know what I mean? Up a couple of notches. Because if there's one thing that can easily and naturally help you detox your body, it is definitely water. We tend to think that we're drinking enough when we really need to increase our intake intensely. Why? Because water can help us flush out our system naturally. Proper water intake can contribute to clearer skin, properly functioning organs, and a more effective circulatory, respiratory, and digestive system. So this is one essential substance can offer great help to our entire body and the way that it functions. So, like we notice in our past history, and basically, what people say is 8 glasses a day, but that's the minimum. So each person is different. So each person might need a different amount of water depending on the person's weight, and everything. So our intake of water, and the more water we drink, the better the results. So water should be the drink of choice. It should also be the choice with our meals as well as before and after. So like 15, 20 minutes before we eat, 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes after we eat to help with digestion. And you'll see the health benefits immediately almost from long-term drinking of water throughout the day-to-day process. Green tea. That's what I'm drinking right now, actually. Replacing your morning coffee with green tea is another way of detoxing. A little caffeine is alright, but you don't want to have excess caffeine because, again, it's acidic. So you want to be careful how much we take in throughout the day or throughout the week. Also, we will want to be careful about where we get our caffeine from and how much we take in at one time. I know I drank a Bang at Planet Fitness a few months ago. I ain't look at the label. I looked at the ingredients. I was like, okay, you got your B12s and beta carotenes and all that. This looks kind of healthy. What I didn't know is how much caffeine was in it. So I drank that Bang, and I'm wondering why I'm leaving Planet Fitness 3 hours later. Like, what the hell just happened? I couldn't stop. It was like 320 milligrams of caffeine in this can of Bang. So I'm sitting there like over caffeine, just like, wow, damn. I mean, everything was on board. So I'm like, shit. I can't sit down. I gotta do something. And even when I left, I went straight to Harris Teeter, and I think I got something to eat, which was a normal part of my day to day whenever I go work out at Planet Fitness. But I wanted excess, amounts of whatever it was. It was potato chips and things like that. Well, not again, it was chips, not potatoes, but it was salty stuff and things like that, trying to eliminate this caffeine effect in my body, whatever's going on. But basically, be careful how much you put in at one time. A cup of coffee here and there is all right, but if you want to detox the body, then maybe just switch up a little bit with the green tea. It offers important antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that our body needs in its most natural form. So it also gives us a slight caffeine boost that can help us jumpstart the day. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the morning, in place of that coffee. So if you choose to replace your morning cup of coffee with a cup of green tea, you still get a little caffeine boost and some actual health benefits as well. So learning to detox the body doesn't have to be complicated, but it does mean that we have to make mindful choices, healthy mindful choices that actually work. So this means that you will have to make some adjustments, but they will all be worth the while at the end of the day. And we was just talking about Planet Fitness, but basically exercise is another way to get a good detox, sweating it out. So we know exercise is an important part of a healthy regimen, a healthy lifestyle, and it helps us lose weight and things like that, which is cool. But when it comes to naturally and effectively cleansing the body, exercise can be another great option for us to turn to. People might not think of exercise in that way, but yes, exercise helps you with cleansing the process, well, the detoxing process in a considerable manner. Because when we exercise, you're not only helping the body to shed fat and excess weight, but you're also getting rid of toxins that may build up due to sweating the toxins out. And therefore, the cleansing is taking place. Not only that, also you are helping with digestion, circulation, and to keep the organs functioning and strong as they should be stimulating. Fitness is, when we're moving around like that in a low impact or high impact exercise, it helps with the movement of the organs as well as the blood. And you know what I'm saying? So the organs are getting that exercise or getting the exercise, jumping, around lifting weights or doing Tai Chi or yoga or running and whatnot. All these different things actually help with circulation, digestion, and keeping the organs in its proper mode. But the sweating also cleanses out toxins out of the skin, you know what I'm saying, by way of perspiration and also by way of breathing. But then when you add the movements, all this helps the body to achieve good health or fitness and to get rid of the potentially negative substances like toxins, you know what I'm saying, poisons that have built up over time. So if one chooses to make exercise a regular function in their life, this can assist the body in the cleansing process on a regular basis. So sweat it out at the gym or at home, running or something, jogging or something like that. It not only makes us feel good and releases best hormones, but it also helps naturally cleanse the body in that process. Fiber, high fiber foods. As you see them right there, split peas, lentils, avocados, peas, raspberries, pears, oats, broccoli, coconuts, blackberries, artichokes. That's just a small blend of it says blender girl right here. It's just a small blend of um, foods high in fiber. Basically, raw fruits and vegetables. High in fiber, grains too. You know what I mean? The doctor said we said you want real food, go to raw fruits, vegetables, and grains. Um, you heard it before. Fiber. We need fiber in the diet. You know what I'm saying? It's not only part of a healthy diet that will help in losing weight, just like exercise, but it's also an important way of cleansing the body. Fiber is an excellent supplement for a variety of reasons, and cleansing is just one of those reasons. Our bodies, especially our digestive tracts, tend to keep substances that enter after a while lodged in there, like we was talking about with John Wayne. These substances may be toxins or poisons due to the preservatives that they add to foods, chemical additives and whatnot that we eat or just waste that is not being disposed of in the body. So, over time that waste putrefies and it's just sitting in there. So whatever the cause, the end result is that we feel bloated or weighed down, unusually tired, and therefore these health problems may start to occur because the body's trying to get back to homeostasis. So when we establish a proper serving of fiber into our diet on a day-to-day, it helps to keep the digestive tract working properly. This means that all toxins, excessive waste, and anything else that is built up in the digestive tract will then move through rapidly. You will feel healthier, your digestive process works in the way that it should. So fresh fruits and vegetables, beans, legumes, and whole grains are all excellent sources of fiber. Start slowly though to avoid unpleasant effects like flatulation or gas, um, diarrhea, things like that. But after a while, your bowel movements will become regular, and you will know the cleanliness is taking effect, and the body is working in the way that it's intended to. So regular in, regular out. So you want to be regular, then put regular food items in there, like what nature intended: fruits and vegetables, grains, a few beans and legumes at one time. You know what I'm saying? But they're all good sources of fiber. Okay. Fasting is another excellent way to detox. Um, some people like to go to the extreme fasting. Like I did it 2 weeks myself once, which was cool, But 2 to 3 days, you know, is a good way to add into your detox. Detoxing and fasting ain't the same thing, of course. Detoxing, you're gonna eat through the detox. You're still gonna put things in the body, but you want to make sure it's elements that are advancing and not regressing. So you don't have to go through the extreme measures like I was saying, with a 2 week fast and just a simple 1 day or 2 day fast, replacing foods with natural juices from fresh fruits and vegetables. And doing this like once a week will actually change your life considerably within a month. You will see loss of weight just by fasting that 1 day, and even if it's just a fruit fast or a vegetable fast, what I'm saying, basically a fruit juice or fruit and vegetable juice, you would notice changes immediately. It gives your body a chance to rest in this aspect, and then because it has time to recover and revitalize from putting those harder food items in the body, by taking a break basically, and not adding on that day or those 2 days, allowing the other things to move through there and allowing the digestion and breaking down or the assimilation of those unbroken down foods and or those potential toxins, those poisons that may be in there. So allowing the body to rest and have a chance to recharge and get back to homeostasis, it means that we're coming back from degeneration, and it will give the body some natural energy and a more active digestive system, as well as circulatory system, lymphatic system, all the systems, basically the respiratory system, get back online more so after that fast. You'll notice it though. You'll be like, dang, I got all this energy, because the body ain't dropped down in there. Or doing orange and yellow, all those are, basically are the lower chakras, but basically they also stimulate certain activities that might not necessarily be healthy all the time. Balance it with green, be calm. So breathing in that Haru light, or what I'm saying, that watch it Haru, the green light. Every once in a while, it just calms the mind and helps us relate to ourselves internally, keep that blood right. So doing it on the weekend, like when you ain't really got much to do, like a job or something, would be the best way to participate with the fast. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be surprised how much you feel better. You have natural energy, and you just be able to get up and move. You think clearer too after a fast. You know, once a week normally is how I do it. Every Sunday, I used to do it ritualistically every Sunday, like really fast. I wouldn't do nothing but water or drinks that day. You know, but then I started incrementally fasting, so I would just do my increment fasting, whereas I wouldn't eat until after, but 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock really, but like we pick 6 hours out the day to eat. If it may be from 6 to 12 in the 6 in the morning to 12 in the afternoon. This one some people may do it. Some people might participate with it from 12 to 6 in the evening, 12 p.m. to 6 in the evening. Either way though, you know what I'm saying. That one meal a day on that type of fast is also a good way to purge and to keep the body from being overindulging in too much, toxicity or producing too much waste to where we have to form mucus in the body to try to cleanse it out because that's not healthy. Basically when we putting too much mucus in the body or we putting too much in the body. So again, less is more always. Always and forever. Hey. Sleeping, yes, is a good way to detox. Without proper sleep, we gain weight, compromised immune system, a lack of natural energy, of course. Sleep deprivation, unfortunately, is too common in America and in the world in general, especially dealing with third shift jobs, stress, activity with the highly advanced technological world. We might be up on social media at 2 o'clock in the morning or playing a video game or something like that. So sleep deprivation is common, and the problem is that the lack of sleep can catch up with us after a long period of time, and it tears the body down, and it shows through in our compromised immune system. So that means we get sick more easily because the immune system is not functioning properly. It also produces a lack of willpower and a lack of energy to make the healthy choices for ourselves, and we also feel exhausted throughout the day. So when we try to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep each night, it gives our body a chance to rest and improve. This is not a luxury, but an important way that our body rebuilds and prepares for the activities that are going to be that we participate in the next day, that we participate with in the next day. So you know, getting that 7 or 8 hours of sleep each night is really beneficial to help improve in a stronger immune system and having energy for the next day. I talking about as far as personally, I might get 4 to 6 hours, but that's qigong's and tai chi and stuff like that. Deep breathing brings about vitality and a different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? But it is energy all in all. Plus the diet that a vegan diet or vegetarian diet or plant based diet also produces a lot of energy. So if we are doing things like that throughout the day, then you know we're gonna acquire a little bit more energy. Then I drink a bang or two. Not just like I don't drink bangs no more. I learned my lesson, but I do. I will put a little like I drank coffee this morning. I really didn't need it. I think it's one of those things though. We develop these memories again, and it's like my body was like, "Where the caffeine?" And I didn't need it. And I slept good, I had energy. I was just like, I know I got to do some things, but that's all excuses. That's the ego again, So the ego mind got in the way this morning, and I drank. It's a healthy coffee, almond milk, like I said, and a little half a half a bottle of some type of organic, non-GMO coffee. It was all black, but it was like I bought a can. It's cold brewed. It's pretty not so tasteful by itself, you know what I'm saying? But do a little our chemistry in the kitchen. We alchemists throw the things together and come out all right. All right, so sleep though, sleep again. Get some good sleep in there, and it will help produce a better immune system for one, and energy. Probiotics, um, turn to probiotics to get rid of the bad bacteria in the body. Probiotics basically means healthy biotics or healthy bacteria versus antibiotics or against. This is for a healthy gut. Basically, these substances help to naturally eliminate like bad bacteria in the body. So probiotics gets the bad stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Certain foods for probiotics also are good for you, but you can do the probiotics in supplement form. I eat a gummy. I got probiotic gummies. I forget what they buy. Solar Source or something like that. Something like that. I can't remember, but take two of them in the morning. They sweet. I know. Yeah, they got the sugar on there. It's natural stevia, but I'd rather do them. That's me personally. I got sweet tooth or something. Sweet gum. He's sweet. He's sweet. Nah, I'm messing. So probiotics is a good way to detox. You got your sauerkraut over there, some pickles. You know what I'm saying? Sour cream, kefir, mushrooms, things that have yogurt. You got your yogurt right there. Uh, you know, I do. So every once in a while, I might get some almond or coconut milk yogurt. I don't really do that much, but I get it every once in a while and chow down on it with the probiotics. But I take the probiotics in the morning, two gummies, real sweet. They're real sweet. Uh, but it helps with to regulate the bacteria that builds up in our intestines, so it breaks that down and it keeps it down to where it's not harmful. You know what I'm saying? And it helps with our ability to get rid of those harmful substances once for all by continually putting probiotics in there over time. Since the digestive system is the most obvious area where um, like the mucus buildup and acid buildup, it may occur. Probiotics are an obvious and very helpful tool to assist in cleansing that out. So if we do that regularly, then we can expect to have a fully functional digestive system and to ensure that the presence of these good bacteria will keep us from developing any health problems as we move forward. Alright, so yep, probiotics day to day. And along with probiotics, superfoods. That's a list of superfoods and screenshot that or whatever you may have. Look it up online or something, if you will. And superfoods basically, if you ask me, ain't really no superfoods. Is raw fruits and vegetables, saying certain grains, even salmon, salmon's a superfood. Um, certain other things, saying. But if we can learn to incorporate superfoods in each meal, then it will also help us fight off infections, increase the immune system due to the fact that superfoods they pack with nutrients and antioxidants, anti-inflammatories that the body needs. So the presence of these antioxidants and nutrients in the body helps to fight off those harmful toxins again, so poisons and substances that may actually compromise our immune system. So it's a good addition to our daily supplementation. Daily sustenance. So superfoods are a delicious way to put nutrients into the body. And so this is some superfoods: salmon, avocado, tuna, walnuts, almonds, olive oil, flax seeds, chia seeds, blueberries, raspberries, spinach, kale, eggplants, tomatoes, carrots. Tomatoes and eggplants are somewhat acidic, so be light on that. But it is a superfood, as well as blueberries are somewhat acidic. You know what I mean? And walnuts are as well too. Of course, tuna and salmon because they're meats, but they are superfoods though because they had those omega 3s in there. Um, Sweet potatoes, carrots, apples, oranges, and butternut squash. These are all good ways to increase in our immunity, but also to purge out those toxins by putting the superfood into each meal. You know what I mean? As we detox and as we continue to detox on a day to day. Um, Definitely cut out simple carbohydrates like white sugar, flour, well, white sugar and flour and any fried foods. Simple carbohydrates are like uh, mono, what is called monosaccharides and disaccharides, especially the disaccharides because those are mainly like processed foods. Monosaccharides are like fruits and vegetables like that. They have one sugar, but disaccharides have two sugars. That means something's been added unnaturally, basically, like pastries, things like that, cakes, potato chips, and stuff like that. Those are disaccharides. They have disaccharides in it. Polysaccharides are complex carbohydrates. So stuff like white bread that we eat every day, growing up, saying starchy food items like white rice, pasta, they are damaging to our waistline and but also damaging to our health. And sometimes even more so than like the donuts, cakes, and cookies, that we like to enjoy. But those starchy sides like rice and pasta, breads, and things like that, also just as hazardous as the donuts, cakes, and cookies. A lot of us don't understand just how harmful these products may be and how toxic they may be, like white sugar and flour, white rice, but they result in toxins in the body that we don't want. And then when we continually adding, it causes those health issues and that mucus buildup. So these simple carbohydrates make us feel full and satisfied when we eat them, but behind the scene, what we'll experience is a surge and then a fall of our blood sugar level, which isn't good for our appetite or our health. So we thinking we full, but then the next day we go do it again, and our blood sugar is spiking up, and then might go down, and then the pancreas is going into overdrive trying to figure out what's going on with these simple sugars, and next thing you know, we ain't producing insulin no more, and we got this thing that they call diabetes jumping. So that's not good for our health. Um, so these terrible outcomes of simple carbohydrates are a major part of the poisons that build up in our digestive system, or these toxins. So these are not the type of substances that or preservatives that we need. That's why fiber-rich whole grains and complex carbohydrates are so vital to our health. So, like we was talking about with the fiber, get those fibers, get fiber in there day to day, raw fruits and vegetables, and complex carbohydrates like grains. You know what I'm saying? Like quinoa, uh, couscous, brown rice, jasmine rice, healthier rice that hasn't been depleted or is not denatured. So they ensure that the digestive system works the way it should. So as you move towards complex carbohydrates, which are better for digestion, you also want to be sure that you get rid of the simple carbohydrates in the process because the rise and fall of that blood sugar is not good for weight loss, and the deposit of preservatives and harmful substances from the processing of like those we call disaccharides or simple carbohydrates are resorting toxins that can slow our immunity down and then have a all around sick type of demeanor. So again, those hamburgers and nacho cheese with Cheez Its on it, you know what I'm saying? Or that strawberry milkshake with a french fry stuck in the straw. Yeah, that ain't so healthy, you know what I'm saying? So get those simple carbohydrates out and put in complex carbohydrates throughout the day. Elimination. promote proper elimination through proper diet and hydration. And the truth of the matter is that most of us don't properly eliminate each day. Regular in, regular out. You ask a person on average. I used to do this in assessments. I ask them how often they eliminate. They'd be like three times, 5 times a week. Regular in, regular out. So if I eat every day, I should be eliminating every day. So that includes urination as well as a bowel movement. So if we're holding on to waste in the body, then what's going to happen is the the body's going to be affected due to the putrefaction of those food items. So we must really focus and be determined to put forth the effort to eliminate and put a major emphasis on what we're putting in to help us increase in evacuating our body and staying hydrated. So start by taking a long, hard look at our diet when when we are trying to work through this. So are we eating enough fiber again each day? Are we eating the right foods such as fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins if we are eating meat, beans and legumes, whole grains, good fats like omega-3s? Um, and if we're doing dairy, are we eating low-fat dairy? Like yogurt or something like that. How much water do we drink each day? Um, do we find ourselves feeling unusually thirsty at any point throughout the day, want more water? How often do we urinate throughout the day? Are we uh, evacuating by urination throughout the day, like 3 or 4 times? How often do we have bowel movements? Are we using the bathroom at least once a day? Um, and believe it or not, these are all important questions for your health and for your learning to naturally and effectively cleanse or detox each day. If we are dehydrated, that's not good for our overall health. Not only that, but it also means that we are not getting enough water to flush out our digestive system properly and move the toxins out. So if you aren't eating enough fiber or mixed with the right foods, then you simply may not be evacuated enough. If you don't have enough bowel movements, that waste material can end up being stored by the body, and the result, it turns into poisons or toxins. This is nothing that you want to think about, but it can cause unhealthy and improperly working system in the body. So really start to look at ways that you can promote proper digestion and elimination. Um, Digestive enzymes is a good way, getting probiotics, fiber um, throughout the day. Make sure you're just putting in enough water. Ensuring that your body is never really dehydrated, and it helps flush out bad toxins. Eating the right foods again. Major focus is on fiber in that way, and it's also important to ensure that the waste materials getting out the body. Keep track of these things and make the necessary changes that we need to ensure that urination and evacuation are happening regularly. You know what I'm saying? So just being attentive of your digestion and eliminating, you know what I mean? See this, but this says a definition of bowel elimination is also known as defecation. Bowel elimination is a natural process critical to human functioning in which body excretes waste products of digestion. It is an essential component of the healthy body functioning or defecation. Bowel elimination, same thing basically, is the act of expelling feces from the body. To do so, all structures of the gastrointestinal tract, especially the components of the large intestine, must function in a coordinated manner. So make sure you're getting that daily elimination going on by enough water, fiber type food items, fruits and vegetables, basically raw fruits and vegetables, and just good thinking, basically, being mindful. This is one of my favorites, of course. Meditation. Learn to meditate. Find a good, we seen how yoga can be good for the body and also, like Tai Chi and things like that, Qigong. But just as exercise helps you to get rid of toxins, so too can meditation. It's good for you mentally, and that means exceptional benefits for the entire body because everything starts where in the mind. If you want that signal to really be read and be strong as it's being read, then you have to have a strong mind, a strong will power that's developed from spiritual power, basically, the intelligence. And that intelligence flows by way of the breath. So when you meditate, you are actually slowing down and gently detaching from the everyday physical life. And that means that you are letting go of what may be troubling you. So when you can detach in this way, you are letting go of stress and anxiety. And that's mental stress and anxiety, which leads to the physical activities that might not be so healthy, like indulging in the cravings that we may have throughout the day. So over time, the stress and anxiety will build up and keep your body from operating at full capacity. So releasing these elements helps you to be in a better health. When stress takes over our life, what happens? It bogs the body down with toxins and anxiety that keeps us from being at our complete best or 100%. At least, striving to be at 100%. So learn to, incorporate this meditation into our everyday life can ensure us that the built up tension, anxiety, and stress will um, decrease and eventually be eliminated. It won't be completely eliminated because there's always going to be some type of stress in the life, but just learning to have that meditation available or that deep breathing will help us keep the mind healthy, of course, but also translates into an immediate benefit to our physical overall well-being as well in that process. So, meditation has always been one of my this we did that meditation, my medication. That's always my go-to whenever I have an issue physically, emotionally, or mentally. I just go to that meditation. That's I quit smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. All those things happen in that room of meditation. So anytime something flares up like that, if I hurt myself, and I hurt my chest a couple of weeks ago, so, pulled a muscle in my sternum doing dips, and I ain't did dips in years, and I'm on overdrive trying to get these dips in, but next thing I know, I popped the muscle, heard it pop, it sounded like a bone. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was hurt when I left the the place where I was working out, and it's like a kickboxing thing going on. But so I left the place and I went home, and I started feeling it. The next day I couldn't even laugh, couldn't really breathe nothing. I started out like, okay, I'm just gonna chill, ain't gonna work out or nothing. But I just, that's one of my addictions, like moving and exercise. So I did light exercise. I didn't really do much, but it like got worse. I was in the, me and my queen was talking, and then we started laughing. Next thing I know, the laughter turned into tears because every time I laughed, it was just painful. And she trying to make me laugh too, so like I couldn't even. I was like, stop it. I actually had to grab her, like, please do not make me laugh right now. So the next day, I went. I think it was the next day. It was a while. It was a couple of days later. I went to the doctor and everything. They told me exactly what happened. I went to the emergency room, and I saw. But I just continued with the meditation, qigong's, and even the workout dude, the instructor, he was like, just do raw right now, do raw vegetables and fruits. I wouldn't put. He was like, he recommended me not to put any. He's like, I know you're a vegan, so you just go ahead and do what you normally do. You probably heal pretty fast. So I just continue with my daily habits pretty much, and I got better. You know what I'm saying? It was about a week, 2 weeks ago, and I'm good now. Couldn't even lay down. It was hurt so bad, but yeah. So, meditation is my medication. It's just sitting down in that meditation. That's why I wasn't on last week. Plus it was Thanksgiving and everything. But basically, yeah, I hurt myself. I was going through the healing. So, getting that rest, getting that, some good sleep in, detoxing, trying to stay active but not being too much, getting out there too much, what I'm saying, doing too many things. But meditation, find it a daily routine. You know, what I'm saying um, see the queen right there in the meditation posture on her meditation pillow with the calendar right there. Make it a cycle where you find yourself doing it like every day if possible, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, eliminating common sources of toxins such as excessive caffeine, alcohol, um, tobacco, processed foods. These things are they form bad habits and continually contribute to a bad health and our inability to actually detox or cleanse. So the most obvious is tobacco in any form. There's put smoke into the lungs. So, the respiratory system builds up that mucus trying to get that stuff out of there. Smoking offers only harmful substances into our body, such as nicotine, which over time, as we found out here, contributes to long-term health problems. So, alcohol as well and caffeine can act much in the same way as the nicotine. Having a little bit of caffeine or alcohol isn't the problem, but when we binge on it and drink too much of it, it's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I think they say like 12 ounces of alcohol, like a beer a day, is actually healthy because of the yeast in it. Basically, that's a probiotic. A little caffeines are actually healthy because it helps it with the immune system to break down certain things. It is acid alkalinity ratio or yin yang, what I'm saying, that the body needs to balance, what I'm saying. But we don't want to put too much of any of those toxic type of items into the body, especially like processed foods, like fried foods and things like that. Denatured foods, unnatural ingredients like chemical additives and things, blue one, red 40, all these different things, high fructose corn syrup. Anything that doesn't come from the earth or that is chemically enhanced ingredients isn't good for our ability to cleanse or to detox, because they are poisonous. So getting those things out will help naturally cleanse our body and we'll feel healthier and stronger as we, proceed day to day. All right, so detox, full body cleanse every month. You know what I'm saying? Basically once a month. This is one of those recipes. I went over this before as well. Done this all this information I put on the table a couple of months ago as we initiated the Soul Food Sundays. So every once in a while, take time to cleanse the body naturally with some of the most natural and common food items like grapefruits, basil, garlic, onions, green tea, mustard greens, walnuts, avocados. Basically, that's superfood items and raw fruits and vegetables, herbs throughout the month, just daily. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. That will keep the detoxing going on and you feel healthier as you continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, your immune system will be stronger. It'll be easier to heal when things do happen. You know what I'm saying? That may flare up, even if it is like a muscle strain or something going on with the physical aspect of the tendons, ligaments, muscles, bones, but also with like colds and things like that, or certain gas or something, whatever it may be, it'd be easier for us to heal due to us daily detoxing, not just taking 2 weeks out and then going back into the same walk. So um, to take it one step further, though, as you get used to the idea of a full body cleanse and make it an irrevocable habit, um, perform a full body cleanse like once a month with just like, especially if it's a weekend, you got a couple of days to yourself and you want to get rid of toxins in the body, do one of these hardcore detoxes. The master cleanse is the one I've done a few times. You can look it up, but this one right here is basically the same thing as the master cleanse. It's just not as many lemons going on. Because the master cleanse is like a bag of lemons, maple syrup, and cayenne and pepper. And you just mix all that up, put it in like 2 jugs. But you're gonna have a lot of water too. I think it's like 1 jug of water per bag of lemons or something like that. It really is the person, what I'm saying, however your taste is acquiring what you feel like you need. But I think I was doing 1 jug of water with a bag of lemons. Though I threw like uh, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper and uh, half a thing of maple syrup in 1 jug. And that's what you did. I did that for like 2 weeks. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But this one is it's a good one though. It's a good recipe. So it's lemon maple syrup cayenne cleanse, which is as follows. Basically the same thing as the master cleanse though. So you get half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper into a 10-ounce glass. So you got your 10-ounce glass. You put half a teaspoon in there. You add 4 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Then you fill the glass with warm water and you stir it thoroughly. Add half a teaspoon of organic maple syrup to sweeten the mixture if you desire, or you can use stevia. Drink that on an empty stomach each month to cleanse your colon. So drink one of those each month to cleanse your colon. Cayenne pepper that's involved in it breaks down mucus in your colon, while the lemon juice eliminates toxins or the poisons. And remember, take your time. Don't rush through it because everybody's threshold is gonna be different for the cayenne pepper. So if you go in hot, it's gonna come out hot. So you want to make sure that you put in enough in there for it to break down or cleanse the colon. You know what I'm saying? And break down the mucus in the colon, but you also don't want to overdo it to where you have some type of adverse effect in your stomach. All right, so take the time to experiment with it so you don't um, be bleeding from your gut or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound too rash, man. So be prepared though, because as soon as you put that in there, you're gonna have a reaction, like evacuate. You're gonna have some type of reaction. Something gonna come out, but it's a good way to cleanse, like once a month. It's not really intended for weight loss, but it is good. It's a good natural cleanse for your body that we need to participate with from time to time. Ooh. All right, so we're getting down to the nit and gritty right here. Take care of yourself and listening to your body. Again, going back to the mind. The mind is it's the strongest defense as well as offense to where we're going to gain control or be in control. Right? So the body can tell us certain things to the mind, and if we're listening to it properly with a holistic mind, then we'll become more in touch with our emotions or the energy and emotion that's flowing through there. So we listen to what the body is telling us and react accordingly. This will ensure that not only we keep ourselves at the best self, but it also can help us perform a cleanse as necessary when our body is telling us that something's going on. So sometimes we can just feel it from a lack of energy or fatigue, which is unusual for us. So feeling tired for some reason, then the body's just letting us know it's time to detox. So symptoms that we tend to take for granted every day, that's like, just a regular normal ailment, can often be a suggestion from the body that in fact we're holding on to toxins or poisons. So ultimately this means that a cleanse is very important and we need to learn to pay closer attention and be aware of these symptoms and indications. So our bodies are something that we know better than anyone. We go to the doctor, and the doctor gonna tell us something and give us a diagnosis, but in general, the reality of it, the body done already told us by giving us the signal within the cells or whatever. There's something going on. We just have to, like, again, act accordingly to whatever the body's saying, but going through the detox process and getting those things out. You know what I'm saying? So if something don't seem right, the best thing to do is to pay close attention to what that something not feeling right is. So like frequent headaches, stomach upset, diarrhea, constipation, feeling tired, cramping, difficulty focusing, lack of energy, aggression, overreactive. These are all symptoms that something's not going right in the body. And again, all we gotta do is listen. So this will ensure that you know that something is not right, and also that when we pinpoint that thing that's not right, it will assure us to be able to cleanse it as required. So as we develop in detoxing, you'll get into the habits of having or good habits, basically. Again, habits or habit, um, bit meaning house, and life house. So we had these good house of life. And then, by proceeding with these methods and tools over time, we'll find the best ways to cleanse properly and to make the measures to do so on a day to day. You also will be able to learn to better listen to your body and be aware and mindful of making the best decisions for your overall health. So this comes from awareness, and also comes from the initiative to act when something doesn't seem right. So again, knowledge is cool. Knowing is half the battle, but it's the application that is most important. And when doing so, what we're doing is basically taking care of ourselves. All right, so looking at this right here, the definition of health, the World Health Organization, or the WHO, this is what they say. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely absence of disease or infirmity. Mere absence of disease is not health. There are three dimensions of health: complete well-being on three dimensions. The fourth dimension, spiritual, is now being added. So first three is basically physical, mental, social well-being, which I would say is emotion. So the physical, the emotional, mental, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being the fourth dimension. This is the four directions of health, basically, which is that's the four directions of health defense is one of my organizations that I started a few years ago. It's based on the four aspects of health: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, as they all turn inside of the individuated dual self to bring forth the light. And so if the eyes full of light, if the eyes the lamp of the body, your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. That's Matthew 6:22. So if your eyes full of light, if your lamp is the eye and your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Again, what is light? Light is life, and light is love. So if you're getting the true unseen um, light, basically, which is love, then your whole body will be full of light. So that meditation, being mindful of our actions, and participating with the body properly, you will discover some healthy changes, or basically all operations of what we call holistic health being uplifted and advanced properly. And it is the observer who is taking place in this thing, who is the controller, the generator, operator, and destroyer. So If you're observing certain things that's going on within your DNA or within your body, the observer who is, soul searching, looking for light, you know, and also researching, which is basically looking again, is going to go through different processes of elimination to get that thing back right. So again, meditation, like the meditation we did last week where we have power words and we say like I am or Lupu, whatnot, I am peace, I am strength. Those type of healing exercises will help with getting the mind back into a state to where you no longer are dependent on certain things or activities that's external to produce happiness or certain type of energies within the body, emotions that might not be so healthy in this addictive nature. All right, so but detoxing the mind is like one of the best ways to start. So that meditation early in the morning, get your strength going, your willpower, spiritual power, moving properly, and then you become that guru. You be that dark gooey substance, that dark gooey light, or you be the one that proclaims and moves the energy within yourself by getting that deep meditation in before you even go out and about and participate with the externals. So staying on your toes produces this right here, knowledge of self. Self-knowledge has no beginning and no end. It is a constant process of discovery. And what is discovered is true, and truth is liberating and creative knowledge of self. And that's every individual's knowledge of self is going to be slightly different from someone else's in their discovery and in their experience. Yet, again, it is knowledge of self, and that self, S-E-L, soul, again. So that soul, that the light from the sun, the knowledge that is introduced by way of that path or that patah, that photon. So that photon or pata'an, that light from the patah again is put is heaven, ta is earth, on is light. So the light from heaven and earth, or the light from heaven to earth. That's that photon as it drops down and we breathe it in. So meditation again is one of the best ways to get it. And then when we do that meditation, we're gonna notice that certain things that we need in life ain't gonna be derived from that processed thing, the processed foods, which cause different type of effects in our day to day that again are not so healthy in our interactions and produces different qualities that might not be so healthy in our immunity basically or in our growth. So this is for the advancement of self, of knowledge of self, not in a selfish manner, but in a selfless manner. You know what I'm saying? So as we continue to move through, we want to reduce the fear elements, basically false experiences or false evidence appearing real by way of these symbols that's out here and replace it with love again. You know what I'm saying? Love is life, life is light. So we want, that fear is darkness, if you will, but it's ignorance because we're acting in an ignorant manner of unknowing. So once we have knowledge of self, knowledge of the light, and we understand what the hologram is based on and what we're participating with, then you can build what you want to out of it. It ain't really like all this stuff is etched in stone. You know what I mean? Do it how you feel is comfortable for yourself, but at the end of the day, recollect and remember, putting the pieces back together, those 14 pieces that were dismembered by so-called set or darkness, putting that light back together, the puzzle. Remember that it is a hologram or hologram, that light. So it's the silent light of the mind in your creativity or in your creative approach to forming what you wish in life. You know what I mean? So acquiring things in life does mean it does require detoxing somewhat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta detox your mind to get out there and move properly by saying I'm gonna do this to get to where I wanna be. And that's all about relaxation and being aware or, basically conscious what's going on around us, you know what I'm saying? So mindfulness again, meditation again, you know what I'm saying? Best way to start out your detox, but just detox again means to take her out or go away from the poison, getting the poisons out, getting the toxins out. So getting that out of the body, the disease state, you know what I'm saying? Disease means away from easy. So that means that we are away from being to having a good flow of energy going through the body by way of the respiratory system, circulatory system, whatever it may be, but it's not moving easily. All right, so that's basically the detox for the night. Again, thanks for everyone participating. I'm gonna jog over here real quick. Um, See what you guys, if there's any questions and anything or just comments, I may reflect on a few of them. Let's see what it is. Okay. Um, Peace, Rashif Bey, Islam, no doubt. Yes, breathing helps remove toxins, no doubt. Off tip, you already know. Meditation, deep breathing. They say the more individual dual self um, does participate with deep breathing exercise such as meditation or any type of deep breathing exercises, the stronger their respiratory system is, so they have less chances of developing upper respiratory infections. So the more a person participates with meditation on a day to day, the healthier they are because they're purging every day. Every time they deep breathe, they're purging out the lungs and also putting the vitals or the vitamins into the body properly. If they're on a holistic diet plan like plant-based diet or whatnot, then they are allowing, like with qigong and deep meditation or tai chi, they're allowing those energies to flow through the blood and get to where they need to be. Um, True indeed. Yeah. A little cinnamon on that. Yeah, self elevation. And the tea, yeah. Sometimes I throw some ginger in there like that too. You know what I mean? Yeah, like mine's. True indeed. Shoot, turmeric. Make one of those. What do you call it? The golden milk tea with some almond milk, turmeric, a little pepper in there, a dash of pepper, some cinnamon. I had the peppermint tonight. It's an essential oil. I just got the queen throw a little taste of it in there. Open me wide. I ain't need no caffeine after that peppermint. But yeah, good thanks. No doubt. The more you stay away from the processing food elements, the more we break out of that mold, that matrix. The matrix is based on right now anyway. The matrix word meaning mother or matriarch, mater. The matter that we dealing with right now is not the true matter or the heart of the matter. It's a it's assimilated reality. You know what I'm saying? Based on again the fear elements that we participate with and that we partake with, in conjunction with the processing foods. So those four elements, four weapons formed against man, so to speak. Um, so detoxing. Putting down that weapon, putting down that poison. What I'm saying? Getting back to homeostasis by way of going from a physical realm, what I'm saying, by way of being more attuned to the spiritual realm or the soul, the solar realm, the photonic energy that's flowing down. Getting that sun in, that meditation in day to day, and then noticing, what we doing. So yeah, getting that fast food out. Fast food equals fast life. You know what I'm saying? So you want to slow down that vibration a little bit to be able to really get in touch with, in tune with yourself. Also, the health movement, plant-based movement, has been hijacked for artificial meat replacements. Yeah, they making them with them what they call Beyond Meat burgers and stuff like that. Yeah, not wise to mess with that. Don't mess with that stuff. Um, just running through here. Yep, yeah, processed food, all that. Eliminated basically out your diet. You'll see how it works. I began my vegetarianism 10 years ago. I ain't gonna say I was the healthiest person after 3, 4 years doing it, but once it got to a certain level, it's all about experience too. So the more you do something, through trial and error, you learn certain things. It begins to, you learn, like you say, to listen to the body. And you get better over time with it. It becomes like a reflex, and it's not too much of a task after a while. It just becomes like habit almost, like it's again reflex, and it's a good habit. We have bad habits, we have good habits. Just getting used to doing those things, what I'm saying, whatever it may be, that's good versus what may be bad and whatnot. We won't call it bad, but it's all part of the experience as well. So continue on your path in your experience and find out what's right for you and what ain't right for you by listening to how your body reacts to certain things. Like again, I said everybody different, so everybody gonna have different reactions and different ways of getting to the point to where they want to be. The 0 point, like the brother was saying, up to so the potential or the power that's within us does reside differently, but it's all about getting to that 0 point. What I'm saying? But as we do advance and uplift humanity by way of each point, the singular point, we're gonna have to go through different experiences personally. Sun up, sun down. The meditation, no doubt. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Is the best time we should be eating anything that is digested in the body after the sun goes down. That should be a detox diet program. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Like cherries is all right. A banana, half banana, something like that. Banana is all right too. Blackberries, things that have melanin and or melatonin intact in a stronger. As far as pigmentation is concerned, yeah. If we're gonna eat something after the sun go down. But the best thing though is if you're detoxing, maybe not put anything in there after the sun goes down, because just to strengthen the immune system to get it back to where it's online properly. Too much caffeine definitely gave me a headache that day at Planet Fitness. I didn't know what was going on. The next morning, boy, I think I was holding my head when I cleaned. I was like, what my head? It was throbbing right like this. It's like you can see the vein pulsating. It's like, I was like, good day, what did I do? I almost forgot. Um, Irish moss smoothie. Yeah, we need to get some more Irish moss. Yeah, about 2 months. Get some of that Dr. Sebi now. Yeah, those smoothies are pretty good, and you can see the changes too. Any suggestions for lupus? Go into look up candidosis, candida, candida. But basically, it's leaky gut syndrome. Um, just want to go to a no sugar diet. No, like we was talking about, simple carbohydrates. Definitely want to get away from that. Try to get into where you're putting in raw fruits and vegetables. Um, supplement, with like MSM, um, what's the vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, anything that's like an adaptogen. Um, ginseng is also good, but adaptogens help the cell recover at a faster rate. It helps the gene recover basically or adapt to stress. But lupus and most ailments like diagnosis that these doctors give us is going to be based on candiosis or candida overflow in the body. Um, Candiosis is normal for the body to have candiosis because it protects us and breaks down certain things, the elements that come in the body that we shouldn't have. But when we have too much of that going on, then we basically like the leaky gut. It starts cutting into our intestinal tract, and this petrified food or this toxic foods in there. So now this candiosis is getting fed the toxicity or the poisons, and it becomes immune to the stuff, and it just builds up and it wants more and more. So we develop cravings of sugar, and basically that's what it's eating, sugar and salt. But look into candiosis and candida, and go into a diet that doesn't like eat the paleo diet. You know what I'm saying, where you don't eat the carbohydrates and things like that, sugar and shit. You know what I mean? But that could help. You know what I'm saying, and help increase your immune system to where you can fight that lupus off and get back to where you need to be, like in homeostasis. After getting the toxins out and become into a new you, how do you stay well and keep the muscles on good? First, like we're saying, there's three ways that the protein doesn't receive the signal. That's from like traumatic events, past events that may occur. So we regenerate these thoughts that whatever happened in the past. Then the second way is toxicity from food items or drugs. So if we generate this thought from this past event, we go out, we might have an emotional disorder or emotional eating disorder, and we go eat certain things to try to alleviate or try to, basically put something over top of it, sweeping this thing under the rug by having this sensation of a good taste in the mouth or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or we might go do drugs or drink alcohol. Just trying to find another room to get into to escape, the escapism effect, to escape from this negative event that may occur in our life with this traumatic event, car accident, being abused, sexually or physically, verbally. It could be anything. It could witnessing a murder at an early age of a loved one or someone passing away just in general, you know what I'm saying? But these traumatic events are held in the mind. So the mind is the strongest aspect or the strongest weapon that could deplete or regenerate our protein, or basically keeping the muscle on, you know what I'm saying? So if we have this mental thing that's in there, or have this thought, this traumatic event that's in there, and then we go out, act it out, or because we had these memories or these triggers, that develop the memory back, and we don't want to think about it, so we go out, we do these things, and it becomes almost a subconscious thing that we ain't conscious of. We just doing it now because it's a bad habit. It's habitual. So now that muscle, that protein won't be formed properly because we ain't out there. Because we out there, in the world doing these things that block the signal. You know what I'm saying? So you want a stronger signal. Just remember the meditation. Basically, first thing in the morning. First thought, best thought. Get out the bed. Do what you do before, like that meditation. Do what you do before you go out and you actually um, get into it or get involved. Will help with regenerating the muscles and everything else as well. So, if you get the toxins out and you do get into this new body or that light body, how do you keep the muscles going on? Basically, light diet, light thoughts produce a light lifestyle. So if you get the right elements in, I exercise and exercise. So I go to Planet Fitness and meditate first. And they be like, what the in the corner? He meditating? What the what? What he did? I go in there and do yoga, do a whole set. I ain't just gonna do like. And I'm really meditating through my yoga too, in the midst, give thanks, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of like hundreds of whatever people might be coming in and out, I'm in my little world in the stretching area doing, you know, 26 movements or however many if it's modified. It depends on the day. But just again, being mindful and being strong, you know what I'm saying, mentally first will help produce those muscles properly by increasing the activity of the signal going into the cell properly. Again, the cell is 80% alkalizing and 20% acid or 20% other, which is basically protein included in that 20%. So, putting the elements of fruits and vegetables, the nutrients and minerals in there properly will help develop the muscle into where it's properly need to be functioning as well. Well, if you exercising and you putting in grains, and root vegetables like we did back in the day, these are protein substitutes basically that will help with the increase in muscle. But that mind thinking, what I'm saying, the grains, they help a lot. Uh, the healthier grains, the grain that I use is quinoa because it also has omega threes in there and things like that. So, but quinoa, I think it means what is it, strength or something like that. The our ancient brothers and sisters of the Amazon used to take in that to keep them strong. You know what I'm saying? But it's something I can't recall what it means, but I think it's something like that. But that's where I use it. I eat that as a grain, sometimes brown rice, from time to time. But chia seeds as well. I throw chia seeds in smoothies and things like that, flax seeds. But those things they help as well, no doubt. Okay, thanks. So keep it going. That was a good question right there, brother Elamuru. Um, try not to overlook anyone or any questions. I may have, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I don't want to jeopardize your time too much though. So we're gonna close out. This is again detox. Getting get the poisons out, basically. You know, the main poison is the mind though. So being mindful of our actions and our interactions, who we're around, what we're around. Like I told Queen this morning when I left out, like, "Look, I don't even want to go nowhere today. I just want to sit here. If I'm gonna fast, I'm gonna fast in the house because I know how it is. We get into that mode when we out there. We're like, oh shit. Damn. Like I said, the Starbucks sign. You know, we just see the sign automatic. It's an archetype, some energy. Like, okay, I gotta get me one of these coffee cups or whatever. And no, it ain't something that we need to do every day, but it becomes a habit. You know, but the body don't lie. The body will tell us the truth. And you know, sometimes we learn the hard way. I learned the hard way. Still, you know, it's a process. You know, process of elimination. You know, what do we really need? So I'm detoxing, fasting a day, you know, getting back into the routine of actually fasting each week. Um, Once again. All right, so it is a process though, but we're gonna close out. Perfect timing as well, yeah. Queen's daughter is coming back in. So fade out with a little music. Again, the Kwanzaa event from December 28th to January 1st. Come on, come on. Have a good time and see what it's about. All right, good thanks. Peace, prosperity, protection, and good health.
Yeah, ATD, above the dome, trap of freedom, it's family, tradition, heritage, the missing links, spiritual miracles, the awakenings, the walking sphinx. It's time to eat, food for thought, it's the meta magician. Holy rainwater flows off my altar, shining through the seasons, elevate the reasons. What's the purpose of life to the living, death to the conscious? At the end of days, clash of the titans, zombies running rampant, Christ in the pamper, looking for the lamp, wrecking at the church, plugging in the amp, rock of the ages, son of the undead, vamping, immortal rage. I bleed red ink in the page, words of truth, no signature, here's the blur. From the visible literature, sitting at the dock of the face of Otis, happy rituals, turn the lights off, it can get real quick, sir. Milk and pot mix, I'm in search for a fix, walking backwards, looking forwards, patient waiting, don't ignore it, holding two swords like peace signs and the into flight, hard eyesight, interdimensional terabytes, fuel for the journey, sunlight of fuel for the journey, calling in the book of law, no need for attorneys, I turn the page, feel the script like a doctor coming out the cage, I'm the lion, fed grain, sticks and stones, no pain, a weapon's only worth its gain, attempting to keep my inner sane, with lifestyle changes, high damn mountain plains, 7 thoughts, 7 vaults, no faults, who's to blame? It ain't the same, they take the names, I feel the sun, it ain't no fun if the homie can't have none, I see you run like Hussein, like none, it seems frightening, exciting, I go with streaming lightning, I'm the Nickelodeon at night. You want to be caught in the trap of fear, you want to be locked in the trap of fear. Time, space is obsolete. Locate the unlocal. Way above, yet so below. The permanency of non-movement. ATD. Above the dome. Trap of freedom. Black water, the meta magician. Mad scientist on the track. Peace.
I just got to throw that in there. Peace, prosperity, protection. Yeah.